This is the true story of the haunting of WillowBrook Mansion. In the quiet town of WillowBrook, nestled deep within the heart of New England, there stood an imposing mansion that cast a dark shadow over the entire community. This mansion, known simply as WillowBrook Mansion, had a long and storied history that sent shivers down the spines of the townsfolk. It was the year 1875 when the mansion was first constructed by a wealthy industrialist named Jonathan Hawthorne. The mansion was a sprawling Gothic masterpiece, boasting towering turrets, intricate stained glass windows, and a wrought iron gate that creaked ominously in the wind. As the years passed, the Hawthorne family experienced numerous tragedies. Several members died under mysterious circumstances, leaving the mansion abandoned and shrouded in a veil of dark rumors. In the early 20th century, a new family moved into WillowBrook, the Harringtons. They were drawn to the mansion's grandeur but remained blissfully unaware of its dark history. Sarah Harrington, a young mother, and her two children, Emily and Michael, found the mansion's grandeur irresistible. Soon after moving in, strange occurrences began. At first, it was subtle things, flickering lights, doors slamming shut, and whispers echoing through the halls. Sarah dismissed these incidents as the house settling, or her imagination playing tricks on her. One stormy night, as Sarah was putting her children to bed, she noticed a shadowy figure standing in the hallway outside their bedroom. It was a dark, hooded figure with piercing red eyes that seemed to stare into her very soul. Terrified, she pulled her children closer and whispered a prayer, hoping the figure would vanish. When she blinked, it was gone. The hauntings escalated, tormenting the Harringtons day and night. Emily and Michael began experiencing vivid nightmares in which they claimed to see the ghostly figures of children. Sarah often heard eerie lullabies sung by unseen voices, emanating from the walls themselves. Desperate and fearing for her children's safety, Sarah began researching the mansion's history. She uncovered a dark secret. Jonathan Hawthorne's own children had died under mysterious circumstances, and the mansion had been built on the graves of Native American ancestors, stirring up restless spirits. Sarah sought the help of a local paranormal investigator named Samuel Crawford. Armed with an array of cameras, audio recorders, and various other ghost hunting equipment, they embarked on a mission to uncover the truth and put the restless spirits to rest. Their first night in the mansion was chilling. As they ventured into the dark, candlelit basement, they discovered a hidden chamber filled with the remains of children, their small skeletons laid out in a macabre display. The investigators realized that the spirits haunting the mansion were the tormented souls of Jonathan Hawthorne's children, seeking retribution for their untimely deaths. Throughout their investigation, Samuel and Sarah communicated with the spirits, using seances and Ouija boards, trying to understand their grievances. The spirits, however, grew increasingly malevolent. Objects flew across rooms, paintings distorted into terrifying images, and the temperature in the mansion would plummet inexplicably. As the days turned into weeks, the Harrington family was pushed to the brink of madness. The children grew frail and weak, their once bright eyes now vacant and haunted. Sarah's determination to rid the mansion of its malevolent spirits was her only driving force. One fateful night, during a particularly intense seance, Sarah made contact with the spirits once again. She pleaded for their forgiveness and offered to help them find peace. The spirits, their glowing red eyes dimming, reluctantly agreed to cease their torment. In the end, the Harringtons left WillowBrook Mansion, leaving behind a dark and twisted history. The mansion, now empty, stood as a testament to the horrors of its past. The spirits, although appeased, would never find eternal rest, forever bound to the mansion that had been built upon their graves. To this day, WillowBrook Mansion stands as a silent sentinel in the town of WillowBrook, its dark history hidden behind its foreboding facade. The tale of the haunted mansion has become a chilling legend passed down through generations, serving as a warning to those who dare to venture near its cursed walls. Despite the Harrington family's escape from WillowBrook Mansion, the horrors that unfolded within its walls continued to haunt their lives. Emily and Michael, though now safe from the malevolent spirits, bore emotional scars that refused to heal. Sarah, too, was forever marked by the experiences within the mansion. The family decided to leave WillowBrook behind, seeking a fresh start in a different town, far away from the mansion that had nearly consumed them. They tried to bury their memories of that dreadful place, hoping to find solace in a new beginning. As the years passed, the trauma faded into the background, but it never truly disappeared. The Harringtons rarely spoke of the mansion, and those dark memories were like a hidden weight they carried with them. Emily and Michael grew up, found their own paths in life, and moved away from their family home. But the mansion, with its twisted history, never ceased to exert its influence on their lives. From time to time, the Harringtons would hear whispers in the wind, distant echoes of lullabies, and glimpse fleeting shadows in their peripheral vision. Those who had ventured into the mansion were forever bound to it, even if they were miles away. Sarah, driven by a profound sense of guilt for having brought her family into that nightmare, could never fully escape the past. She found solace in her own research into the supernatural, hoping to find a way to free her family from the mansion's lingering curse. Late at night, she would sit at her desk, poring over books on the occult and trying to communicate with the spirits that had tormented her family. One evening, as Sarah delved deeper into the mansion's history and the spirits' grievances, she made a chilling discovery. The spirits were not content with merely haunting her family. They sought something more profound. They yearned for justice and redemption, not just for themselves, but for all the innocent souls who had been wronged throughout the mansion's dark history. Realizing the depth of the spirits' pain and their desire for closure, Sarah decided to return to WillowBrook with a renewed purpose. With her newfound knowledge and a sense of duty, she would find a way to cleanse the mansion, laying to rest the tormented souls forever. Sarah gathered her family, and for the first time in years spoke openly about their experiences in the mansion. To her surprise, Emily and Michael were supportive of her decision. They understood that they couldn't truly escape the mansion's grasp, and by helping the spirits find peace, they could finally break free of its influence. Together they embarked on a new journey, returning to WillowBrook Mansion with a newfound resolve. Armed with the knowledge of the spirits' grievances and guided by Sarah's unshakable determination, they would confront the darkness that had plagued their family for generations and hopefully bring an end to the haunting of WillowBrook Mansion once and for all. And so, the Harrington family stood on the threshold of the mansion, ready to face the malevolent spirits that had tormented them for so long. They knew that the journey ahead would be filled with fear, uncertainty, and danger, but they were willing to make the ultimate sacrifice to free themselves and the tormented souls bound to the mansion's dark history. As they stepped over the threshold and into the mansion's foreboding interior, they were met with a chilling silence, broken only by the faint sound of distant whispers and the occasional mournful wail of the restless spirits. The final chapter of the haunting of WillowBrook Mansion had begun. The Harrington family had returned to WillowBrook Mansion with a renewed sense of purpose. Armed with knowledge and determination, they hoped to confront the malevolent spirits that had tormented them for generations and bring an end to the haunting once and for all. Inside the mansion, the air grew icy, and the oppressive silence was broken only by the faint, mournful wails of the restless spirits. The family moved with caution through the dark, winding corridors, guided by Sarah's extensive research and understanding of the spirits' grievances. As they ventured deeper into the mansion, they encountered ever more disturbing manifestations of the spirits' torment. Disembodied voices echoed through the halls, and objects moved of their own accord, floating through the air as if manipulated by invisible hands. The presence of the malevolent spirits grew stronger, and the sense of dread that had once enveloped the family returned in full force. Their journey led them to the hidden chamber in the basement, where they had discovered the remains of the children long ago. The small skeletons lay there, a testament to the tragedy that had unfolded within these walls. It was here that the spirits made their presence known, their red eyes glowing with fury. Sarah, her voice trembling, began to communicate with the spirits, imploring them to listen. She recounted the story of their suffering, their unjust deaths, and the pain they had caused her family. She offered a path to redemption, explaining that by allowing the spirits to find peace, they could break the cycle of torment that bound them to the mansion. The spirits, still filled with anger and sorrow, hesitated. But as Sarah continued to speak, their red eyes began to dim and their malevolence waned. The spirits realized that revenge and suffering had brought them no solace. Slowly, they accepted Sarah's offer, understanding that only by granting forgiveness could they find the peace they had longed for. With the spirits' acceptance, a profound transformation swept through the mansion. The darkness that had pervaded its walls for generations began to lift. The oppressive atmosphere lightened and the air warmed. It was as if the mansion itself had exhaled a long-held breath of relief. The Harrington family, joined by the spirits they had once feared, formed a circle, and Sarah led a final seance to release the spirits from their earthly bonds. As they chanted and held hands, the spirits, with tears of gratitude in their eyes, began to ascend. One by one, they faded into the ethereal realm, their tortured souls finding peace at last. As the last spirit vanished, the mansion was left in a state of eerie calm, its oppressive presence lifted. The Harrington family, emotionally drained but filled with a sense of accomplishment, knew that their mission was complete. They had broken the cycle of torment, bringing redemption and closure to the spirits that had plagued their lives. The family left WillowBrook Mansion for the final time, carrying with them a profound sense of closure and a newfound appreciation for the power of forgiveness. They had faced the darkest aspects of the mansion's history and had found a way to free themselves and the tormented souls bound to its walls. The town of WillowBrook, too, felt the change. The mansion that had once been a place of fear and dread now stood as a symbol of redemption and hope. The legend of the haunting of WillowBrook Mansion slowly transformed into a tale of redemption and forgiveness, a reminder that even the darkest of histories could be rewritten. And so, the Harrington family left WillowBrook behind, their lives forever changed by their harrowing experiences within the mansion's walls. The final chapter of the haunting of WillowBrook Mansion had been written, bringing a sense of closure to a tale that had haunted the town for generations. The Harrington family, having successfully put an end to the haunting of WillowBrook Mansion, continued with their lives, forever changed by their experiences within its dark and twisted walls. As the years passed, the memory of the mansion and the malevolent spirits gradually faded into the past. Sarah, Emily, and Michael had finally broken free from the influence of the mansion, no longer haunted by the echoes of lullabies, shadowy figures, and the malevolent spirits that had once tormented them. They found solace in their newfound unity, and in the knowledge that they had brought closure to the tormented souls trapped within the mansion's history. The town of WillowBrook, too, began to heal from the dark history that had plagued it for generations. The mansion, once a symbol of fear, had transformed into a place of redemption and hope. The community embraced the tale of the Harrington family's courage, finding inspiration in their ability to confront the darkest aspects of the mansion's past and rewrite its history. And so the haunting of WillowBrook Mansion came to a close, not with fear and despair, but with redemption and forgiveness. It served as a reminder that even the most malevolent and haunted places could be transformed when confronted with the power of understanding and compassion. The mansion itself, standing as a silent sentinel in the town, was no longer a source of dread, but a symbol of a community's ability to come together and find resolution in the face of darkness. The final chapter of the haunting of WillowBrook Mansion was one of healing and transformation, a testament to the enduring power of human spirit and the capacity to bring peace to restless souls.